What's up, everybody? We are back with another review. This one's a little bit different than our usual. It's not our usual shooter or anything. It's not even as unusual as Skate. It's a little more unusual than that. Today we are talking about the new co-op game LEGO Voyagers. Me and my fiance are always looking for co-op games to play. This one just came out. At the time of posting this and recording this, it's on sale, at least on Steam, for $23 instead of like the $25 that it is. And so, hey, it was cheap. We love co-op games. We wanted to try out, and we did. So we're going to do our usual cons, so-sos, pros, and then final thoughts and rating, the typical format that we have. I do have a couple spoiler ones that I'll warn before I talk about them, since they are spoilers. And we'll obviously do those before final thoughts. But before we get into the review, if you want to come watch me play any new games or COD or Apex or my single player Sundays, Twitch is linked down below. I also have all my social medias linked down below, including my car social medias, my single player channel where I uploaded this gameplay, which I'll link down below, and my car YouTube if you want to check any of that or support me anywhere else. And I'll also, like I said, I'll link the playlist for the playthrough down below. It's just two parts. But without further ado, let's start running through our thoughts on the game. So the one non-spoiler con I have is the game is too short. I was enjoying myself, having a good time. So was my fiance, and the game ended in under 4 hours. You have to decide if a $25 game is worth about 3 hours and 30 minutes to 3 hours and 45 minutes. If it's worth it to you, then I guess it's not too short, but it was a little bit too short. I was enjoying myself, and that obviously got cut short. And then you just have to debate whether or not the price or not is worth it. So the so-so is not all, and I just wanted to think of a so-so, is not all of the controls are completely clearly explained. I played on Xbox controller. So to like attach to things with your little block, you hit B or circle on controller, on PlayStation controller. You jump with A or X. And then when you are moving Lego pieces, you clip them and unclip them to like different blocks or little grids. With the B or circle button, and then use Y or triangle to rotate them. And the initial stuff like jumping, and you can use X or square to sing or make noises. That was explained. The jumping was explained. You personally connecting stuff was explained, but the block controls aren't really explained. That's just on the so-so. And then for pros, the first one we have, and I think this is the way it should be with every co-op game. It Takes Two does this, Split Fiction does this, and LEGO Voyagers does this, and that's a friend's pass where only one person has to buy the game and the other person can play it for free. Part of the reason that that's so good is that, a lot of people want to play with this with their kids, and with there being a friend's pass, you don't have to buy it twice. You and your kid can play with only buying it once, or, me and my fiance, whoever wants to play it. I think friend's pass for co-op is a great thing, and that all co-op games should do this. Another pro I have is this actually has like it's not split screen, it's all on one screen, but it has couch co-op. You can just play local co-op. So like I play this on PC, my fiance, she was on PC, so we played on our own computers in our own separate rooms, but we could have got this on like Switch or PlayStation or Xbox, and we could have played in the living room together and played through on the same screen, sitting next to each other. And growing up playing games in the 2000s and into the early 2010s where we started to lose it, couch co-op or split screen was a big part of gaming with people, and it's gone away, but it's back with like games like this. I think Split Fiction did it as well. The next pro I have is this game was really cute. It definitely is geared towards kids, but the game's cute. Your two little Lego blocks rolling around, jumping around. You, like I said, you can make noises and sing the noises they make on their own in the game. It's just a cute little game. And then it's also like cozy as well, which leads into the next pro, the music. The music's very cozy feeling. Think of how gentle and soft the music is in like Animal Crossing, right? It's like that gentle, soft, just like slightly upbeat, just cozy music, and it just fits the vibe well. There was times where the music went away, which was unfortunate, but I did like the music and the vibe it presented. So getting into more of like a gameplay pro is like the physics are very involved, as well as being involved in the puzzles to get through the levels. Sometimes you have to like attach a block to yourself to give yourself more leverage to be able to roll up something that you can't quite jump up. Or like when you're trying to move blocks around, you have to use that leverage because you can't jump when you have a block attached to the bottom of you. And so just having that, as well as the puzzles in the game, and a lot of them required physics. That's why I kind of put them in the same pro. Just the puzzles were fun. They were simple to figure out once you figured them out. Some of them were a little more difficult, but like nothing crazy hard to figure out. You know, not even like the Legend of Zelda difficulties when we're talking puzzles. You know, pretty simple puzzles. And once you figured them out, some of them might have taken a little bit of time, but they were easy, especially once you figured them out. And some of the puzzles that those physics came into play, and just the gameplay and the physics and the puzzles and all that made for something that is kid friendly enough that kids will be able to play it. Young kids will be able to play it, especially with a parent, to help them figure things out. But it was difficult enough that it wasn't like, oh, this is so obviously a kid's game. This is so easy, and you just zoom through every puzzle. And then the final thing is extras. Going around the different levels, you can find little extra things that are just cute little details, like there's flowers that inflate, and when you go next to them, they pop. You can actually attach to them, and when they inflate, if your friend runs, or whoever you're playing with runs up to them, it'll like shoot you off. There's just little fun, quirky things to explore that aren't just the puzzles and getting through the levels. And I won't talk through all of them because I don't want to spoil them, but it's just like little things. If you play this game, definitely go around the map and don't just like go through the levels, and go find the little extra fun things. Now we're gonna do the spoiler. I have a spoiler con and a spoiler pro. So starting off with the spoiler con is the ending is quite sad. You know, you're these two Lego blocks that are trying to get through these levels, go on adventures, and at the end, the blue block goes onto the spaceship that you build, and then just leaves the red block behind. And just after that, the red block is back at the home island, and they can go up on this little communicator thing, and they can hit their like sing or talk button, and they're obviously there. And then when the blue block does it, you see a little thing light up in the sky, and that's them on the spaceship. But me and my fiance are both like, oh, that's heartbreaking that they ended up splitting apart at the end. And then the weird part of that is I was red the whole time and she was blue the whole time. But at that end part, she was controlling the red one and I was just controlling the light in the sky as the blue. So I don't know, the ending was sad. And then my spoiler pro is that rocket at the end, you can actually customize. We just kind of rushed through it. We were playing kind of later at night, and you know, we wanted to get ready for bed. But if you take your time, you can make a cool, fun rocket where you can paint all the pieces, add whatever pieces you want. And that rocket that goes off at the end is completely your own. And it's, you know, if you watch my reviews, having something that is your own or your own experience is something that I love in games. And just the fact that this is Lego, so you can still kind of do things your own way as it is, but then to have the important rocket at the end be completely customizable for yourself, colors, and pieces, I really like that custom experience. So that's my cons, that's my so-sos, that's my pros. I'm not going to go over them because I don't want to include the spoiler ones for people that skipped ahead over the spoilers. But for my final thoughts, this was a very cute, fun game. It was too short. But I love that it's couch co-op. I love that it has the Friends Pass, so you can play with only one person having to buy it. I love that it's kid-friendly, but just challenging enough that adults don't just immediately breeze through it. Overall, I really thought this was a fun, cute game. I wish it was 5 or 6 hours and not 3.5 to 4. Not just because of price, just because I was enjoying the experience. But either way, I definitely think it's worth it, especially if you're a gamer parent looking for something to play with their kid, especially a young kid if you're trying to introduce them into gaming. This is something that is definitely very kid-friendly and definitely something I would recommend. So I don't want to rate it as I rate all games because I typically rate like FPSs or third-person shooters. Recently I had Chronos New Dawn, the horror game, a lot of multiplayer, PvP games. So I don't want to quite rate it on that scale, so I'm going to kind of, you know, in my head, tweak it to more of its own thing. As far as a co-op game, it's more of like I'm trying to rate it in the sphere of thinking of it as a co-op game and a kids game. I would give it like a 7.5 out of 10. If it was a little bit longer, you know, 5-6 hours, maybe we get up to an 8.5. And I mean, I don't know what would have made it a 10 really, other than making it longer, maybe explaining the controls a little more. Maybe if there's a little more extras throughout the level, I'm thinking like 7.5, 8. Maybe we go 8.5, 9 if it's longer. It's an excellent co-op game. It's excellent if you're trying to get your kid into gaming, and it's just a fun little thing to play with your friend or your partner or whoever. But that's my thoughts on LEGO Voyagers. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you like this type of content, other game reviews, COD content, Apex content, whatever, and you want to see that first. And comment down below what you think of LEGO Voyagers or co-op games in general or whatever. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.